muted. What else could go wrong with the stream? I'm fucking muted.
Hi, String.
Ah!
Just you getting killed. That's the only thing that could go wrong after this.
Yep.
Foreshadowing.
Hi everyone. It's been a great start to the week. Welcome one and all. The jury. It's going to be great. Murder Shack Part 2. I have social links and all sorts of things. Let's go round. Charlie.
Hello. So, I am going to be the keeper of today's madness, and it seems like the insanity is already creeping into all of our machines, but that's okay. When we left off last time, we were indeed in the Murder Shack, or as I like to call it, the cabin in the woods. But number 13 seems to have bad luck, as we saw Helena stumble down a steep flight of stairs and descend into a strange madness as Bert implied she was less than capable. And then there was the gun. But I'll let someone else speak about that. Why don't we speak to Bert? Why don't we quickly cut to Scrat?
Oh, hi everyone. Bert, what am I cutting to?
How were you feeling at the top of the stairs?
Oh, Bert was fairly confident that Helena wouldn't be able to fire the gun on him or wouldn't know how to use it or some other thing. You know, when he was like, now Helena, honey, you don't want to shoot anybody. Calm down. That was a fairly true portrayal of how he felt. You know, sort of strangely calm. You know, it's just Helena. She'll be okay. She probably just needs a bit of time and then she'll be okay.
But Eddie, didn't you have a different perspective on what happened on those stairs?
I did. Well, I'm going down these stairs and I managed to cover Helena, and then she slipped and I caught her, and I think I broke her arm. Heard something pop, and then Lucia helped her up, and after a little bit of gunplay, she never hurt anybody. I shoved past Lucia. I remember saying, hold on, watch her, and I went blowing out into the hallway. And I'm looking for the bathroom. If I can't find it, I'm going to go to the kitchen. But yeah, I do have a different perspective on it, and I'm pretty freaked out. I'm not happy about it.
And you raised the gun to your own head at one point, I think.
Well, she raised it up, and I tried to disarm her, and I couldn't. Her arm was hard like iron. Something's going on. And so to try to snap her out of it, I grabbed the barrel, shoved it on my head, and I told her if she needed to do it, then she needed to do it. And I think I hoped that it would either snap her out of it or get me killed. But then it dry fired, right? She pulled the trigger and it clicked. And then she dropped it after that. But at that point, you go right to the wall, and I blame myself for all of it. The gun, basically what she's going through. She's seeing visions that, I think were brought on by what happened at the courthouse. And I know she's not in her right mind. I know the difference. I've known her long enough to know who Helena is, and that wasn't her. And I take all of that personally because you just internalize all that. And so got to find some way to snap her out of it, even if it means putting a gun to your head. And now that Lucia's propped her up and she's not going to fall down a flight of stairs and the gun's on the floor, I'm going to go find somewhere to freak out.
Lucia, what is this madness that's taking over your group?
I don't know. They don't behave themselves and they don't do what Lucia tells them to do. Like, don't you shoot that gun, don't you? Lucia almost got shot by Eddie last week. Was it Eddie? I think it was Eddie.
It was.
Yes.
As a bullet came whistling past her as she and Helena made their way around the other entrance of the house. Lucia is just very, very confused right now from, one, the actions of Helena and what her and Eddie must have found up in the attic for what she walked in on. And for Bert in general, like Bert being Bert, like she expects some of it, but it was a bit of a panicked situation. And also for the child's sketchbook that she found. And she's sort of worried, did that trigger Helena in any way? Because she gave it to Helena.
Mm-hmm.
And very shortly after that, this ensued. And Lucia was absolutely fine.
Helena, what did happen on the stairs?
So what happened was that I was somehow taken over by the spirit of Esther, who was the witch who had been murdered long time ago. And through a series of events leading up to it concerning wild magic surges, I have this handkerchief on my neck, or blindfold, I guess, that I'm wearing as a handkerchief, like a ascot, that is causing me to not deal with injustices in a very logical or rational way. So any kind of injustice just sets me off and makes me extremely angry. But with that, I also found another thing so Eddie found a little like pocket square, and I snatched it from his hands basically. And that created a sense of like I could hear and feel everything. Everything was really intense, and it kind of messed with my mind. So that, coupled with the ascot, kind of created a really hostile representation of my character in general. So that caused me to do some things that I wouldn't normally do. And somehow that facilitated I wouldn't call it possession, but just a takeover of Esther. So when I was on the stairs and Bert was saying things like, oh, you can't do it, you're a woman, basically, in other words, Esther kind of took over, and I no longer saw my friends. She saw her husband, I believe, and the judge and all these people who had accused and murdered her. So there was kind of an internal fight between Helena understanding what's going on, losing it to Esther, and then coming back, and didn't end up killing anybody, but definitely shot at Bert. And I don't remember if she shot at Eddie. I don't remember, but Eddie didn't die, so that's good. That's pretty much what happened.
Yeah, that is pretty much what happened. And all through your investigations of cabin number 13, you'd heard this ringing phone. But all through your investigations, you hadn't found it. Nowhere in this house could you find this phone that sounded so close and yet so far. And at the end of the session, you all had phone calls. You all heard your own voices answering the phone, and either the sounds or someone else's voice on the other end. But
Someone hung up on me.
yeah, Eddie, you had someone hang up on you.
Typical.
Lucia, you heard the sounds of cattle moving around, menaced by something. But you had your daughter's voice. You had Victoria's voice calling for her father. And Helena, you had that voice too. And Victoria said she missed you. And she wanted to know where you went. And we find ourselves with Lucia and Helena down in the kitchen. Lucia having moved Helena a safe distance away from the two men that she'd just attacked with the gun, failed to shoot. But you are upstairs, I believe, still at the top of the flight of the stairs, gathering yourself. And Eddie, you've gone in search of the bathroom. Who would like to begin?
I'll go first. Do I see the bathroom on the, this is the first floor. If I've gone down the stairs, I'm on the first floor, right? Ground floor.
No, you're a floor up.
I'm a floor up. All
Yep.
right. Oh, right.
First
Right. Because that was
floor
the
in the
attic.
UK, second floor in the US.
Oh, yeah, I can't even handle that. I don't even, my brain hurts.
Yeah, so on this floor, you have a set of stairs which go down.
Right.
You've got a door which leads to the very steep set of stairs that goes up to that attic section of the house. And
Right.
then you have three other doors, one opposite pretty much the set of stairs that goes all the way up, and then two on the wall.
All right. I'm going to go back down to the ground floor and go
Mhm.
into the kitchen that I explored.
Okay.
And I'm gonna run to the sink. And I don't have I'm going to remove my handkerchief off of my face. And as we all know, for those loyal viewers, Eddie's nose is broken. And takes the handkerchief off his face and lets the hole in his face breathe for a second. It is disgusting. And I think this is the first time in the show where, you know, the camera comes around and we actually see Eddie's face. And it is not pretty. Okay. There's a hole in this guy's face. You can see the bone, you can see the whole thing. And there's a reason he covers this. And standing over the sink, I think he turns the faucet and puts some water that runs on his forehead and his face, carefully avoiding the hole. And I think he just like puts his head down. It's like, you stupid motherfucker. You fucking stupid motherfucker. You miserable, disgusting failure. What on earth makes you fit to walk the planet with these people? You should throw yourself in that fucking lake. You fucking idiot. Disgusting. Disgusting person. And I take my hat off and I put my hat to the side and I run some more water. And I maybe like drink a little bit of it, spit it out. You're like, idiot. We got to stop it. We got to stop it. We got to do something. You're going to do something. You're not going to watch it. You're not going to watch it happen. You fucking idiot. Don't you dare just stand there and watch it. Puts the handkerchief back on his face, ties it hard, checks his gun, puts it back in his waistband, and goes back upstairs.
Relevant information for you, Charlie. We've already hit 10 retweets. Not only that, Mal Hadale donates for every player to have bad things.
Yay!
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, good. Yay.
And yeah, just a reminder for people in chat, you can support this channel and donate to affect the game through a number of ways listed beneath the game bar. And you can also do those retweets. And also every 10 followers, we also get another Wild Magic Surge. So lots of ways that you can affect the game.
Thank you.
Not to mention shouting out wonderful things in chat.
Thank you very much as well to Cleric of Cord, Taz Chap, who both subscribed during the technical difficulties. Thank you very much. You both get a nat 1 or 20 to gift. And Gemsong, who just subscribed for the second month in a row. Oh, hi! You also get a nat 1 or 20.
Okay, what number are we rolling this week?
Oh, that is a very, very good question. We are rolling a 562.
562. Don't forget, you can contribute to the Wild Magic Search table via the Scratchcast Discord.
That you can.
562. Okay, what I'm going to do for this one is I'm going to roll it and then I will apply it to the player. It seems to fit best. 522. Eddie, as you return upstairs, you feel a tingling in your arm. In your, which is your writing arm, Eddie?
He's left-handed.
Right, your left hand begins to tingle. Is a strange pins and needles that creeps from the very tips of your fingers up to the elbow, into your shoulder, and then back down. Okay.
It's not the first time my left arm has gone numb.
And as you look closer at this arm, you remember that your clothes are soaking wet, that they still grip to your body, and you feel a clamminess washing over you that was not helped in any way by the cold water that you splashed on your face downstairs, and shivers begin to work through you as a fever is beginning to rise, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw. Or a Constitution check. I keep forgetting we're playing Call of Cthulhu and not D&D.
Okay. Okay. Yes, I'm doing it. That's a D100, right? What game are we
That is
playing?
100.
That's right. Oh, what's up?
Ooh.
Okay, and with what I imagine is an extreme success, you
It is.
realize that you have to get warm very quickly, but with kind of a sniff, you don't feel a fever beginning to take hold of you, as your constitution, usually busy with healing other things, is strong, and you're not going to be too affected by the wet clothes at this point. But that tingling is continuing. And slowly over the next 10 minutes, you're going to lose all feeling in your left hand. And then within another 10 minutes, you'll lose all feeling in your left arm. So that is what will be going on for the next 20 minutes for Eddie. Let's cut back downstairs to the kitchen where Lucia and Helena are. Having had Eddie burst into the room and wash his face and leave again once he'd appeared to gather himself.
Lucia is not really saying anything. She's literally holding Helena's face and just checking, like, you know what the mums do, where they like sort of feel your temperature, sort of opens your mouth to check everything, like looking at her ears and just like, what was that? What was that?
So Helena is having trouble snapping back right now. So I think something's gonna have to happen for her to be able to just like have a conversation about it.
And she's sort of stops and says, "Are you okay now?"
She's not even meeting your eyes.
She will take your face and try and make you look at her. You might not, like, your eyes might not meet, but she's just like, "Helena, come on, darling, you gotta snap out of it."
So she has her shoulder still out of joint, so she's still in a lot of pain, and I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna have her wake up, but it's not gonna be easy to just snap her back out right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. So yeah, her nose is bleeding, and she's just sitting there like zoned out.
Like, Lucia will try and wipe the blood away. She'll take like a scarf off and start trying to clear up a bit, and just be like, "Right, well," and sort of looks at her shoulder and is like, "I'm not going to touch that." Like remembering from back what happened last time. And she goes to the door of the kitchen and just looks up towards, like, is Bert on the stairs?
Bert's actually a floor above you at the moment.
Okay. She will call...
Scrap, would he be coming down the stairs?
Well, let's see. Eddie's freaking out. Helena's freaking out too, but Lucia's downstairs, and, you know, I know that they're good at sorting each other out. You know, they know more about themselves than I do, so... I guess Bert would probably stay upstairs and probably investigate these other rooms.
Investigate the attic level?
Yeah, maybe look at where Eddie and Helena came from. Maybe they might have missed something, or...
Okay. There you go, Lucia.
Yeah, like, she will shout out a couple of times. If he doesn't reply, then...
if you're shouting out, he'll be like, what are you shouting out exactly?
I'm just shouting your name, and I'm Bert! So I shout it.
Yeah, yes, everything's fine up here, Lucia. You see to Helena, there's no problem.
Fine. And she sort of goes back into the kitchen, and what she'll actually do is probably try and drape her coat over Helena, like to cover her up at the front, just if she's going to be cold. And she'll slide down the wall and sit next to her. Don't get me wrong, it was some crazy stuff, but I get why you did it. And she, even if you say nothing, she'll just keep chatting like that.
What do we see from Helena? What does Helena see right now?
So in her mind, she's not even like fully aware of where she is or what's going on. Still a little in shock, I think. Since she was able to kind of fight off the feelings that she had when she was Esther, I don't think she's fully like gone or anything. She's not fully insane, but she is not doing well and something drastic is going to have to happen to kind of snap her back. Or I can just get up and start walking around, like, I don't know. But she's not fully aware of her surroundings.
With this insanity still gripping you, this feeling of two people in one body, this feeling of being persecuted unfairly, and the haunting message of that phone call in your mind looping over and over, I awarded you at the end of last session a 6-point sanity loss, which contributes to another temporary insanity.
Mhm.
And your temporary insanity will be physical hysterics and emotional outbursts.
Okay.
I'm going to say that you either laugh or cry for the next 15 minutes. And it is your choice. Or you could do both as you feel fit for your mental state.
I think it's going to be a switch between the two. And it won't make any sense to anybody else, but it will to me. Because I'm going through everything that just happened in the last, hour or so. I don't even know how long we've been here. And kind of laughing at things that happened and kind of crying at other things and flashbacks to my past and stuff like that. So it's pretty much a switch back and forth.
And Lucia, with that guilt in you of, did I cause this? Did what I show, did showing the notepad to Helena cause her to just go over the edge? What does this image of the rat man mean? You begin to feel this really heavy feeling inside of you that not only are you not alone, but everything that is happening is because of you. You are the one that brought the rat men here. And you get that feeling once more of just over your shoulder, just out of your peripheral, someone is watching you. And you've never had this before when someone else is in the room, but it's happening to you now. Out of the corner of your eye, you see it, what should be just a tree branch catching and causing a shadow through the kitchen window, but it's the shape of a rat man. And everywhere around you, in tiny places and hidden noises and sound and little snippets of sight, you just have the feeling of these creatures, this manifestation of the snitch, of that person watching and knowing all the truth and knowing what you've done is there. And this is the insanity that grips you as you remember again that phone call, the sound of your brother calling for you to help, being trampled by cattle.
She will, like, every now and then, like, dart, and even though she's sat next to Helena, she's sort of just trying not to look nervous, but she is. It's obvious she is, as she sort of looks around, and she'll see if she can find the notebook on Helena. If she's completely, like, blank, she'll try and find it.
And I imagine as you reach kind of into Helena's pocket, this is when she starts one of her giggle fits. This is when she just finds it so terribly funny that Bert would open his mouth and say such a stupid thing when she's walking around with a gun. And then laugh even harder that Eddie decided to put the gun to his head. And Helena, where is the notepad?
The sketchbook?
The sketchbook, yeah.
What did I ever take it from her, or did she just show it to me?
I think you had it in your hands.
I passed it to
say
you.
Had it.
Okay. I feel like I would have dropped it in that ordeal. Honestly. This was before the gun scene, right? Yeah. So I feel like I would have dropped it or something, because she was showing it to me right before I heard Bert say something, right?
Yeah, the top of the stairs.
You drop it in the last show. I remember you let it fall to the ground.
Yeah, I would have let it fall. So it's probably on the stairs.
Okay, Lucia will probably try and get up and find it then.
Lucia, in the chaos of everything that had happened in that strange phone call, you'd forgotten that the notebook had been dropped. Or maybe you just hadn't noticed in your scramble to get Helena away and to defuse the situation that happened. And you go up to the stairs to look for the notepad. Eddie.
Yes.
What are you doing on the second floor?
Well, I'm assuming as I come up the stairs, I can hear her laughing.
You can hear down in the kitchen the muffled sound of Lucia speaking, and then a few moments later, Helena just erupting into giggles. A sound that you probably haven't heard for a long, long time.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's great because it's not like, oh, isn't that nice to hear? If anything, like that's a serious red flag, you know. And so I go shooting up those stairs one more time, and to check on Helena.
Okay, Helena's downstairs from you.
Oh, she's
She's in the
Um,
kitchen downstairs.
Helena came to the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I lost my hearing for a second. On my
You're okay.
Okay, so if she walks into the kitchen, and I'm there too, and she's laughing, I'm gonna walk right up to her and carefully put my hand on the arm that isn't broken, and try to make eye contact, and ask her if she's okay. Are you okay?
So I think more with this situation rather than with Lucia, I think that if Eddie is talking to her, then she would hear it better, but still not like 100% come out. But she'll hear it better, and she might even make eye contact. I think she would make eye contact, and not talking or anything, but just kind of look at him like crazy eyes.
I'm here. I'm here. It's nice to hear you laugh. Look at my face. Look at my eyes. We're in the kitchen. Are you with me?
Her eyes are just darting around kind of everywhere now. When he says kitchen, we're in the kitchen. She can hear him as if it's in her own mind rather than like him talking to her, especially since he has the thing over his face. She's not understanding that he's talking. She's just understanding that she hears him. So she would kind of, I guess, come back a little bit, and she's just gonna look down at her shoulder and say, "My arm," and that's it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to find something. Is it just who else is in the kitchen? Is it just me and Helena?
Lucia has kind of passed you on the way out. She's gone upstairs to go and find the notepad that she'd lost, and Bert is still all the way upstairs in the attic.
I just like shout loud, like, Lucia, we have to set her arm. And then I like look back at her face, and I'm like, right here. Let's go to lunch. You want to go to lunch? Look at my face. Are we going to lunch?
Yes.
All right. As soon as we get done here in the house, we're going to lunch. All right?
Lunch.
Right.
Lucia will come back downstairs, and she's like, I was afraid you were going to say that. Right. How do you want to do this?
I need a bed sheet or something. We shred a sheet, or maybe there's like a towel or something. We just got to prop it up.
Would this do? Like, she's literally got like her scarf that she wiped her bloody nose with earlier and pulls it off. Is it? Would this be good enough?
If it's long enough, bring it here.
And she'll hand over like this sort of. It's not colourful, but it's not over the top.
As you pull off the scarf, it's got that cold, damp feeling. And you also remember that you were still wearing soaking wet clothes from your dip in the duck pond. And you begin to shiver as a draft runs through it behind you. And you wonder, is the door behind me open? Did we not notice someone creeping down the corridor? And the shiver intensifies, literally that feeling of, someone walking across your grave as it runs up and down your spine, shaking your entire body. And I need you to make a constitution roll, please.
That is a fail.
Okay, you begin to get sick. You begin to feel that fevery, clammy feeling coming over you, and kind of a headache beginning to set in at the back of your brain, right at the base of your spine, where those shivers are just rocketing up and down. And I'm going to say that you lose 1 hit point in this moment.
Okay.
As you don't know what germs and bacteria were in that pond, and you were submerged and very briefly drowning in it.
She sort of like, she has that shiver like, oh, and sort of passes it and then looks at it and says, it's sort of
Not going to work.
No, and she's like, I mean, did you check the door was locked? Did you close it behind you?
Front door?
Any door?
Oh Christ! No, I didn't lock any doors. Don't move. Is there a table and chairs in the kitchen?
Yes.
There's some place to sit. I
Yeah,
sit
there's a
Helena.
round table.
I sit Helena down at the table, and then I look at Lucia and I go, "Watch her." And I walk out of the room to go to the living room to tear the curtains off the curtain rod and shred us, mad as hell, ripping shit. Tear a length of the curtain.
Okay. Helena, in this moment, you're thinking about lunch. The word that Eddie had said to you, the word that sunk in. Tell me about a terrible lunch you once had.
I think that food-wise or like situation-wise?
Situation. I think this is a little bit more than just life.
That's what I was gonna go for. Okay, so I would imagine some sort of meeting lunch with my father before I decide to jet off to Paris. So just a one-on-one, like, hey, let's have this talk, and I don't want you to go, and stuff like that. And then I was really angry and upset, so there would be that.
And at this lunch, he was sat opposite you at one of your favorite cafes in New York. It's a place that you always used to go and get special pastries. In a way, it was the place that inspired you to go to Paris, to go to France. This was an evocative place. And in a way, this lunch had ruined it for you. And it was one of the worst lunches you'd ever had with your father. And this is what you're imagining and is going through your head at this moment as you're thinking about lunch. And Helena, in this moment, bursts into tears as her hysterics take another swing. Lucia, you are cold, you are shivering, you are feeling a sickness washing over you, and you remember about that cut on your side that you hadn't really had time to address. And also that your clothes are still soaking wet. Is there anything you would like to do in this moment?
If anything, she's probably just going to lift up the side of her shirt just enough to see the side and just see what this cut looks like. Like, has it gone a horrible color? Is it still bleeding? Like, she's trying to do it discreetly, but she's gone to sit the other side of the table opposite Helena, literally so that she can keep an eye on Helena, but also the two doors either side. She's not happy. She sort of, as she glances down at her side, she still constantly looks around.
And as you inspect your wound, I'd like you to make a spot hidden check for me. Now, Bet, you're upstairs, you're in the attic. You can hear the sound of people kind of moving around the house. Occasionally, you might catch the height of the hysterics of Helena. What are you looking for in the attics?
Well, I'm looking for what we came here for. Clues about this murderer. There was... I couldn't find a way into that secret... It's that damn telephone.
And you do. You hear the phone again ringing.
I'm coming, baby. I'm coming.
And the attic room to your left is the room that the ladder had ended up in. The room with the bed. And the bookshelf on which there was the Holy Bible. Underneath was the pocket square. Around the room, it's pretty bare beyond that. I think there was also maybe a dead bumblebee on one of the windowsills. I think that was in this room. And then in the right hand room, the other half of the attic, it's completely bare. There is nothing in this room, and that is so strange to you that such a large room would have just nothing in it, a complete absence.
Now I was trying to get into this secret crawl space, wasn't I? I remember.
Yes. In the living room side, there's the crawl space on one side, which leads up into this top attic room on the left. Then there's the fireplace chimney, and then on the other side of that, there should be another crawl space. You're sure that wall was hollow, but you haven't been able to find a way into this side.
Yeah, because I went into the kitchen and all sorts. I just couldn't find it. So now that I'm upstairs and I can see the crawl space in that room, maybe I'll try and walk across to where the top of the crawl space should be and just have a little stamp or something, see if I can find any, like, I don't know, some trap doors which don't have handles so they're difficult to spot or something like that.
And at this moment, you remember that in your pocket is the key that you found on that ledge in the inside of the chimney. And you also remember that your clothes are soaking wet and that your pocket is very damp. And as you reach in, there's a slimy bit of weed that comes out attached to the key. And I need you to make your constitution save, as you have remained in your damp clothes for about 45 minutes at this point.
Yes, I have. Oh, I'm not very good at Constitution.
What did you get? Let's see,
Oh
fail.
boy, that's a big old fail.
It is.
Fun fact, I don't even have enough luck to make that work.
And you have that hideous hangover feeling, the feeling of, I'm gonna throw up if I don't drink something quick. That weird, paradoxical feeling of craving and also wanting nothing that makes you queasy and kind of off balance.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say that you two will lose 1 hit point, as this condition affects you quite significantly and will grow serious if not in some way handled.
Maybe I'll just give it an experimental cough. Yeah.
As you cough, you feel that contraction of your body as you kind of exhale, and it just upsets your stomach all the more. And you remember Miller's this morning, the maggots in the food, the rat tails, the creative ways that people had tampered and spoiled the food.
Yeah, that was awful. Also, additionally, Charlie, as the new stream boss, there was a nat 1 given to Helena, which I've already done, but also a secondary bad thing for me. So,
Okay.
but I'll remember the maggots and stuff.
And I'm gonna say, with your sanity loss at the end of the last episode, you actually pass out. You sway and you stagger, and I'm gonna let you make a dex check or a dodge check, something of that description, to try and keep yourself from doing more injury to yourself as you fall.
He fainted.
He did faint. As that's perfect. As you can hear that phone ringing and the need to do something and the craving for the alcohol. The alcohol which has in recent years caused so many problems in your life, but has also fueled you to keep going. And you kind of sway and you feel the panic rising in you, that claustrophobia closing in, the fear of being hunted, the feel of being helpless and hopeless. And you manage to get to the bed before you pass out, and you curl into this small ball, just shivering, and your eyes roll back into your head, and blackness and that white noise just fills your ears. Lucia, remind me what you were spotting. Oh yes, you were checking your injury.
Yeah, I was checking my injury.
That's right. As you look down, you see some algae gunk, this slimy, sticky, brown mess just kind of smeared across this wound that you were sure you'd wiped at least to check before. And as I assume you're gonna wipe this clean.
She's gonna just be like sort of try and not throw up because it hurts as well. Like if she was doing this on someone else, it wouldn't make her ill, but this is giving her a little bit of nausea.
Yeah.
And she just tries to wipe it off, almost like without looking a little bit, but has to keep checking just to make sure she's got all of it off.
So as you wipe, you actually reopen some of the wound that healed, and fresh blood begins to pour down. It's really thin and watery, and it's bright and red.
And she's like,
trickles down your side, and you watch as it drips onto the floor, leaving small spots of red. And in your mind, you have a flash of the living room with blood all up the walls, of two dark, shadowy figures staring down at you as you peer from that small side bedroom. You must be kneeling because you're no more than 3 feet or so off the ground as you look up at these two shadowy figures and you see the blood and viscera smeared up the wall. But then as you blink again, you see it's just a few drops of blood on the floor of the kitchen. And Helena opposite you is sobbing, openly sobbing.
and she won't comfort Helena straight away. She's just sort of staring wide-eyed and like jerking her head around to have a look, and then sort of almost forgetting the wound quickly, seeing Helena cry. She thinks that's her coming back to normality. I know it's not. But in Lucia's, she's like, Helena? Helena, do you hear me? Can you hear me properly? And she will just let go of her side and try and stand up and go towards Helena.
Eddie, you reach up and you tear down, or you pull down the curtain, and that arm is just tingling and it's weaker than it should be, to the point where you have to tear with your right arm and your foot to get this fabric to split in a good way. And this takes you a couple of minutes to finally get it done. You're kind of heaving it, but you get your portion of fabric. Do you go straight back to the kitchen?
Yes.
You go into the kitchen as you see Lucia trying to get through to Helena. Helena just a sobbing mess. And I'll let you make a spot hidden.
Oh, good. I will fail it.
Okay. So you come into this room and you don't notice Lucia's injury has reopened. Just the sobbing mess that is Helena.
No, I think I'm like about as fired up. You know, it's like it'd be like the living room was on fire. You know what I mean? Like it's that I think Eddie's in emergency mode right now. And I like walk up to Lucia. Can I hold my gun in my left hand with the tingling? Can I get a grip on it?
Let's make a let's go with your firearms skill. Because not only do you want to hold it, but I imagine you want to hold it safely.
Yeah, well, let's just fail that right away.
Yeah.
On the subject of fails, I will remind you all that you have at least one nat 20 that you can use. Helena, you have 2. Bert, you have 2. And Lucia, you have 3. Helena, you also have an advantage. There are nat 1s, but I'll worry about those. So you try and grip this gun, and there's a tremor to your hand as you try and kind of close it to get a good grip. And I'm not going to say you drop the gun, but you know that you can't safely grip this gun in that left hand.
Then I put it on the counter or the nearest surface. And then with my right hand, I hand the curtain piece to Lucia. And I look at her and I go, we are at war. We are actively being assaulted. This is war. You know what I mean?
Agree. And she pulls her handgun back. Like, just makes it, not pulls it out, but she makes it, sort of shifts it round her side a bit easier so that it's easier to grab more than anything.
I've got something wrong with my arm, and I'm starting to feel weird. Do you think you can wrap this around her and set her arm while I run out in the hall?
I can, but make sure afterwards you come back here and I check your arm.
All 3 of you hear the phone ringing. Somewhere upstairs. It's in this house somewhere, but you don't know where. So close, but so far away.
Do I? Go ahead.
She said, we should find out what that is. I don't like it.
I'm not answering the damn phone. And you do what you want, but I don't think you should either. I'm going around the corner right over here to that closet. I'm going to see if there's anything in there to replace our coats. Then we are wrapping her up. We are collecting the junior detective upstairs, and we are getting the hell out of here.
I would like to leave.
Helena hears the phone too, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think she gets up and tries to find it.
No. Like, Lucia will try and put her back down in the chair.
Helena,
without grabbing her bad arm, like trying to do it as gently as possible.
Taking her good arm. Helena, do you resist?
I do. I'm very determined to get to that phone and answer it.
Okay, then I'll make oppose, brawl, or strength, whichever you have. Brawl's under fighting. Upstairs, Bert, laying in this bed, trembling, if you feel half conscious, you open your eyes, and the light in the room is different. It's nighttime. There's a small candle on the floor. And then you close your eyes again as that queasy feeling washes over you, and you're outside, down by the pond, looking out. you pick up a stone from the ground and you throw it to skip it across the surface.
Just like when I was a boy.
The surface of the pond at this time of night is a perfect mirror for the sky. And the sky above is swirling with stars and little clouds just skittering across very occasionally, causing strange shadows on the surface. Behind you, you can hear laughter. The house is lit up, full of people, full of life. You hear the voices of your family, of your mother and your father, your older sister, your older brother. And as you step towards the house, queasiness rocks you again, and you find yourself stood on a platform. All around you a void, just expansive and dark, absolute absence of anything. And as you look up, there is framework, wooden beam, down from which a rope is swinging, creaking, a noose. You feel yourself pushed forward up onto a small step that you had not seen before. You feel the noose jerked around your neck.
Hey.
Looking out now, there is a crowd watching.
What?
A crowd in strange, archaic, historic clothing, like you'd see at a fair in the summer or at those reenactments upstate.
I go to pull my gun.
There is no gun. There are just skirts, a simple brown dress. And in the crowd, you see the harsh face of a judge. You recognize them purely for their powdered wig. Next to them, another man stands stoic and still, a heavy beard. And I'd like you to make a spot hidden check.
I can spot them hiddens.
How well can you spot those hiddens?
Extremely well.
Extremely well. You scan over the crowd, and as you do so, you see more faces that you recognize. Not so far from the judge and the man, you see Julie, your ex-wife, standing. That same look on her face when you would argue with Victoria. That same, why could you never understand? Why could you never be better? Why could you not know that love is love? And then beyond her, you see the face of Elam, your partner. He's disappointed. He is picking at sweets from a little brown paper bag, and he seems almost happy that you are here facing your judgment. Continuing around the crowd, you see faces of victims, witnesses, of informants, police officers, people from around town. You see your booze dealer, you see the Miller boys, and at the very back you see Victoria standing, watching. She's slightly on her own, and walking up behind her is Helena, who puts a comforting arm around her waist. Slowly as one, the entire crowd nod, and you feel the world drop, and your stomach dives with it as the ground gives way, and for a second you feel like you are choking.
I try to get my fingers out around whatever's on my neck, trying to give myself some release. Thankful, I guess, that my neck hasn't broken.
What plea will the defendant enter? You hear a voice boom from the black void around you.
Can I speak? Is it tight around my neck, or can I?
It's tight, but you feel like you could probably get a sound out.
What plea? What am I convicted for?
You are charged with the crimes, and then there's a muffling, as if there's cotton wool in your ear. White noise rears, that faint, dizzy feeling where you were losing consciousness in the attic is rising again. What is your plea? Innocent or guilty?
Innocent.
And then there's laughter. That faint hysterical laughter of Helena in the kitchen is rising up around you. And you see the crowd. You hadn't noticed them here before it had been dark, but now you see them and they are all turning and walking away. They don't care what your plea is. And you feel the constriction on your throat grow tighter and tighter, and above you, the rope creaks and then snaps, and there's another fall. And you wake up and you are in the attic again. You don't know how long you've been out, but you're here, and your throat is sore and scratchy. And there's the feeling that no one cares if you're innocent or guilty. You are going to be condemned. Downstairs in the kitchen. Helena, your friends are doing what they can to help you, but you are struggling to leave, struggling to find the source of that ringing phone. And Lucia, you've reached out a hand to stop her, but you've been afraid of hurting her anymore, and it's not that you're not strong enough. I fully believe that in this moment you're probably strong enough to stop Helena, but it's that you're not willing to go that far, because you know in this state you will probably do more damage to her than not. And Helena, your determination is unbreakable. You will not stop for that hand, and you will push it beyond the limits, and you continue on. You find yourself in that hallway with the stairs that go up to the next floor, along which you know is that the closet with the ladder that goes up to the attic, and then the living room, and then the back door. Where would you like to go?
I want to go in a room I haven't been in yet.
Okay, so you will need to go upstairs.
Okay, I'm going to go upstairs.
Okay, up on this floor, there is the door directly opposite you with that steep flight of stairs that you tumbled down and where the gun incident happened. Almost behind you and kind of up a bit is another door, and then there are 2 doors against the wall adjacent to you. So you have 3 doors that you have not opened on this floor.
And does it kind of sound like the phone might be coming from this floor, or am I wrong direction already?
Make a listen check. I think that's a skill. Yes.
Listen. Hard pass.
In your mind, the phone is nearly reverbing as it's just constantly ringing. And you look around and you know it's not that door on the far end wall opposite the flight of stairs that goes up. It's in one of the 2 rooms on the adjacent wall, but you cannot figure out which. You know it's in one of them, that is certain.
And they're right next to each other?
Yeah.
Okay. So I will go to the one that is closest to me first. If I'm walking this way, they're like on the side, or are they at the end?
So you come up to the stairs, and here's the top of the stairs. Here's the door with the steep stairs. And then over this side, you've got the far room, and then you've got 2 doors. So you've got a left and a right. They're both pretty much as close to you.
Okay. I'll take the right.
Okay. You go to the right, and you open, and you're hit with this blaring, ringing phone sound, and it's painful. Do you laugh or do you cry?
I cry.
And as you cry, you feel your legs give out beneath you, that same numb feeling at the top of the stairs, and the pain in your head is soaring. And you begin to hear phone conversations. You hear your last conversation with your girlfriend. What is your girlfriend's name?
Amelia, with an E.
With an E. Okay, you hear Amelia, and she's explaining to you that she needs to stay in New York. There are no trains. She's stranded there. She's going to go and stay with a friend. She'll see you soon. And then you hear an earlier conversation with her, explaining why you had to go to Privacy, New York to attend a trial, and why you thought it would be nice that she would come with you. Why did you tell her it would be nice? What reason did you give her?
Selfishly, I wanted her with me because I didn't want to leave her behind and risk her not wanting to be with me anymore.
Did you tell her that reason, or did you give her an excuse?
I didn't tell her that reason. That was my selfish secret, because I've seen her becoming more independent on her own. She used to be a part of my club, my like group of writers, women writers, And she kind of looked up to me, and then we kind of got closer over time and formed a relationship. And as I've seen her grow more into her own person, I've seen her getting more independent and not so much dependent on me. And so selfishly, I wanted her to come with me so I could make sure she was here and not there and didn't want to leave. So what I told her was that I needed her help with writing my book, which is the reason I am on the jury personally, because I want to get as much facts as I can so I can work on a new novel.
And in that moment, you feel that hopelessness that everything here was your fault, that you've made mistakes, and you remember that your notepad is sodden, that the words were ruined by the water of the pond, that so much of this has been for nothing. And you are paralyzed in that bedroom. As around you, the phone keeps ringing and phone calls keep being made, and it's dizzying. You remember all of these phone calls and you can pick out individual ones, but at the same time, it's all at once. Lucia, Helena has gone upstairs and she's gone to the bedroom on the right. It is a bedroom. Did you follow or did you stay in the kitchen with Eddie?
I think she would run straight up after her. If anything, I think when maybe as Helena pushed away, it was the pain in her side that made her sort of wince and fall back, but she would have followed straight after.
And
Had her
Eddie,
gun out as well.
how did you respond to the nearly sleepwalking Helena just striding through this house and up the stairs?
I think it was I was about to go to the closet to try to find some dry clothes for me and Lucia, but as I see Helena stand up and start walking, and if I could tell that she's in a daze, I look at Lucia and make eye contact, and then I pick up my gun and I lift it up and I pull the hammer back.
Okay.
I'm like, we're gonna keep an eye on her. Let's go get Bert and let's get the hell out of here.
Get Bert and don't give her another gun. For now.
No,
In fact-
you and I are the only ones with gun rights right now, as far as I'm concerned.
Yes. And she sort of has a quick flick back to when you almost shot her as she walked in. And she's just sort of like, yes. Why don't you go find Helena? I don't think you would be the best to go after Bert right now.
All right.
I mean that in the best way possible.
And I just don't even pick up on it. Like, sounds good. And I'll just raise my gun and I'm on Helena bodyguard duty again.
It's not hard to catch up to Helena, and she is on the floor of this bedroom just sobbing, her notepad in her hand.
I take a knee next to her and I'm gonna put my hand on her shoulder. I'm like, hey. Come on back. I'm gonna see if I can't make eye contact with her. And if I can't get her attention, I take my handkerchief off. Like this. And I grab her cheeks and I point her face at my face. Like, I'm right here. You come on back. Here.
And she just sees your empty nose cavity. That would freak her out, I think.
You know what? I'm gonna have you roll a sanity check. We're gonna see whether this makes the situation worse or worse. I think it's pretty much where it's gonna go.
Oh, I passed it. But you can give me the one if you want.
So, no. So, you see your friend, Eddie, staring opposite you, and you see for the first time fully the absence of his nose, the strange alienness, this mix of his face, and the reality of he can't smell. He's lost that. Of I was meant to be his nose. And you are somewhat back to the reality, but it's not a happy place to be. Bless you, Alice.
Thank you.
I know the absence of a nose makes me sneeze too. And the phone stopped ringing. The last call you hear is a call from Eddie saying, I'm going back to the States. I'll see you around. And then you see your good friend and you remember the journey and you remember everything that has brought you to this moment. And you notice for the first time that he is incomplete, that he has had a great loss. What do you
You
do?
hear me?
Yes. What happened?
We are under attack. We have got to get ourselves together and get the hell out of here.
That's so intense. We are under attack. What's your face? I don't understand.
And I'm like, oh Christ. And I like turn my head and put my handkerchief back up. And I'm like, I thought I might wake you up. Listen, we're on a team. You're on the team. I'm on the team. Okay? We got to go get the rest of the team. And we got to get the hell out of here. Every minute we're here, this is getting worse.
Yeah, we need to leave. We should not have come here. It's my fault.
Nope, my fault. But too late now. We're going to be fine. I got you. Lucia's getting burnt. I want you to stand up. Can you stand up?
Okay. We leave.
All right. I like step out into the hall in front of you to check the hall. And I like shout for Lucia.
As you do this, I would like you both to make a listen check. Lucia, you've made your way up that steep flight of stairs to the attic rooms. Both of the doors are open, and you see Bert in the room with that lone cot curled up on the bed. What are you doing?
She'll probably go straight over to Bert, but quite cautiously. Like, she's not rushing over, and she'll hesitate to reach out, but she'll place a hand on him and be like, Bert, what's wrong? Like, she hovers the other hand like over her gun because she trusts nothing in here right now, as she sort of double checks looking around her.
And I've come round at this point, right?
Yes, you are just kind of coming out of that weird dream.
Oh, Lucia, no, nothing's wrong. I just had a really weird dream.
You were sleeping?
Yeah, the cold in my clothes made me just need to take just a quick nap. Now I was looking over in this corner, and I'll start getting up and heading back over to that corner.
Whoa. Bert, we're getting out of here.
And as
Why?
and Lucia tries to stop you, your stomach flips and you throw up. And as you throw up, the liquid is black, tar-like. There are strange bubbles and lumps in it. And it just covers the floor. Lucia, you recognize the smell of rancid alcohol, but there's something else to this. There's a familiarness to it, and it's horrible. And I would...
Sorry, go on.
I'm just trying to think what is going to be the best check for you. Let's go with an intellect check. Or intelligence check, sorry.
Is that for me?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to do this as a way of checking your memory. Okay.
Yeah,
So that's a
fair.
fail. So yeah, you cannot place the smell, but it is dread. That is the feeling you have in you at the smell, and it's also disgust. But you've just thrown up, and it's a horrible, biley taste, and you can feel your stomach is still heaving. There's still more that it wants to expel from your body.
Sorry, Lucia. Oh,
So, are you alright? Like, she puts
Yeah,
an arm over
yeah.
him.
This happens sometimes when I forget to eat for a few days and
It's usually this color.
I'm usually pretty drunk by the time I get here.
But,
There's a bit more to come up, but I'm sure I'll be fine.
Bert, listen to me a second. This place is bad. We're
It's,
getting out. Now.
it's just a house, Lucia.
It's not just a house. Look what's happened to us. Elena pulls a gun on you. Eddie's freaking out more than usual, I'll give it that. He's
Oh, since
I was-
I've met Eddie, all he seems to do is freak out.
No, this is different. You're throwing up some sort of weird black tar-like thing, and I'm telling you,
Listen,
I'm telling you, we are being followed. There is something in this house other than us.
Lucia,
As it is,
Okay.
no, Bert, listen.
okay. Now, hang on a minute. You're talking crazy. We're being followed? What by?
I don't know. There's just something here, and
Yeah.
and Elena's injured. I'm injured. We need to do something about. Look, you're soaking wet.
Yeah, yes, I am that, but what do you intend us to do? Go outside in the cold and get even
I'm-
wetter? At least we've
I-
got some protection from the elements in here.
I
Now-
intend us to leave and go home.
I found a key.
What?
I found a key. There's a hidden crawl space somewhere between the kitchen and the living room. I think it might be over in this corner somewhere. We just
Ah.
need to find a keyhole.
Bert, how do you know that?
Did I mention that I'm a private investigator, Lucia? I put things together, and what I do for a living is I discover
But-
secrets.
I am aware of your occupation.
Oh, good.
I'm
Good.
just
Well
saying,
done,
why
you.
are not
Good.
told? Yes, well done, me. Now I want to go home. I
Okay.
hurt.
Okay, I understand, Lucia. Why don't you go and find your coat and start getting ready? And I'll tell you what, I'll be with you by exactly the time you're ready.
My coat is wet. I am ready.
Maybe we'll get you a new coat when we go back into town. But just for now, let's get ready to go, and I'll just check out this corner.
You're not going to go check a crawl space on your own. Look at you. You're throwing up some sort of. What's wrong with you? No, you
I
don't.
told you that happens all the time. I'm sure it's
Oh.
nothing to worry about.
It's not natural, Bert.
Actually, it is
This,
quite natural.
she
when you-
gestures to him. This is not natural.
When you drink quite a lot of poison, eventually, sometimes you throw up. It's perfectly natural. Everything's fine.
Okay, listen. If I come with you to find this crawl space, it gives them time to get ready, and then we go.
Won't you need some time to get ready as well?
I'm ready, Bert.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm
let's go and
ready
have a
to
look
go.
then. We're looking for a keyhole.
Shocker. Like, and she'll just walk over to the wherever this area is that he's gestured to.
Okay, so this area is actually opposite the bed on the wall. On this piece of wall, there's a small painting, a sort of landscape of the nearby lake. A little, what's this? A little pond, a little boat is kind of just sat there. It's a crudely done tourist watercolor type piece. Nothing really of any quality. And beyond that, there's kind of the bare floorboards and the wall. Just along from it to the left of that, a little way is the hatch that leads to the ladder that goes down, and then there's the bookcase. And I will need you both to make spot hidden checks.
I'd like to
Okay.
use a natural 20, please.
I was gonna say, 'cause I'll fail it.
Okay. Would you both like to use your nat 20s?
No, he can find whatever he wants.
We'll find it. Okay, very well. Meanwhile, one floor down, Eddie, as you are about to yell for Lucia and yell for Bert to get the hell out of here, you hear a door close downstairs.
Do I
And
know?
with your, was that just a regular success?
Yes.
Okay, and with your regular success, you're fairly sure it's either the lounge door or the back door. It's at that end of the house, but you're not sure which. It's possible that it's also the hatch under the stairs through which Bert launched himself earlier. But it
Alright,
sounded
okay.
more like a proper door to you.
Okay. All right. I don't want to scare. I don't want to freak Helen out. So I look at her and I go, because I'm in front of her and she's still in the room and I'm like in the doorway and I got the gun up and I'm like, all right, you are with me. Here we go. And like I step out of the hall and let you come out. And then I'm going to cover you and I'm going to be like, we are going downstairs. Oh, wait, but I want to be in front because somebody's downstairs. Okay, so I'm going to walk to the stairs and then I'm going to like motion for her to follow me. And I'm going to gun out, down, and I'm going to put it in my right hand, which is not my good hand for shooting people's heads off. And with Helena hopefully following me, I'm going to descend the staircase, gun drawn.
Your left arm is now completely numb and is limp at your side. And you descend the staircase and you come down and you can see the front door from here and you can just about see the kitchen door, but you can't see the back end of the house. Where do you go?
Which way did I hear the
The back end of the house.
All right, that's where I'm going, very slowly.
Okay.
And I'm motioning for Helena to follow me.
Are you being stealthy or are you just walking normally but slowly?
I'm being stealthy.
Okay, would you like to make a stealth roll?
I would love to, Charlie.
Perfect. I'm so happy for you.
I will fail it. Yeah, I'll fail it.
Okay. Upstairs, but
Yes.
you actually have to you're kind of stomping your foot to here for the hollow space.
Yeah.
And you hear it.
Here. See?
And you keep kicking and you realize that where you need to go is where that nice vomit pile is, that nice puddle. Do you clear it away to inspect this area?
Is it like running anywhere? Is there like a square?
There's not a square, but there is cracks between the floorboard down which the vomit does seem to be seeping. But like where is exactly that hollow space, and it's exactly there.
All right. No. Let's see. What have I got here? I've got some head splitter. I'll pour a little of that out onto it. And I've got a handkerchief, and I'll just step on my handkerchief and just start sweeping it aside with my shoe, using the head splitter like cleaning fluid.
Okay, I'd like you to make a dex check.
Oh boy. That's a success.
With your sickness and your wooziness, you're a little bit off balance, but you manage to keep your balance as you're kind of scrubbing away with your foot to clear this area, and you get it clean enough, and you pull up the floorboard. I'm still using that nat 20 that you had. And down below this, there's another level. There's another layer of floorboards. And you see in that is where the hatch is. And that hatch has a keyhole.
You see, Lucia, there's beneath the floorboards. There's a secret room. I bet that's where the telephone is.
Well, then open it.
All right, I'm getting there. Now, the good thing about investigation is to never rush, because you might miss some of the details. Now, what you want to be looking out for is anything that looks, too clean or too dirty, Be looking out for patterns in the dust. Weapons, that's a good thing to see. We could find out some real secrets here.
Bert, can we please open the door?
Maybe together we can solve this case alone. Yeah, I can help you. And I'll start pulling up the floor.
Okay, and I'd like you both to make a listen check. In addition to any checks you want to make on this hatch as it's opened.
Oh, God.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
We are nothing.
Alright, and you don't want to spend any luck, Alice? Or you could spend
Do
two
you
nat
think I'm
20
close enough?
to make that a nat 20. It's up to you.
I think I'll leave it just because it's so far for me to spend to actually pass, I think. Yeah.
And are you doing any inspections on this house? That listen check has nothing to do with this hatch.
No, I'll just be ripping up floorboards and then
Okay,
putting the
just-
key in. The house is
Right.
empty as far as I'm
the
concerned.
key in.
Lucia's just got to clear some of
Unlock
the
the
vapors.
hatch. And you open it up. It's one that lifts up on a hinge. And Down below is blackness, darkness. The light from the sun setting does not ebb any further into this. You need to use a lighter or something similar to be able to see.
I think I gave Helena back her lighter.
Would I have like a pack of matches because I have a kitchen? Like
I had a pack of matches, but they were soaking wet.
Oh, that's a good point.
You could use luck. Make a luck roll to see if they will ignite if you want to try them.
I will try that.
Maybe try and dry them out on something.
Maybe they have dried out. I'll give it a... Oh, Jesus, I'm never gonna...
Okay. So you both kind of try and get your matches going. That is not working. Down in the hole, the phone rings.
And Lucia looks at it. Screw it. And she just starts climbing into the hole.
I'll put a hand on her shoulder and be like, oh, hang on a second. I agree, but let me go first, just in case it's dangerous.
If it's dangerous, you'll hear me scream and you can come running. And she'll keep going down.
Don't you remember, Lucia? You don't like guns and violence and things. You told me at the restaurant. This is...
I know, I hate them, but you know, I've got to be a brave girl at some point. Otherwise,
Well,
I learn.
That point doesn't have to be today. I'm here, and I can look after you. Let me go down first.
I'm gonna just go down first.
Okay. I'm gonna say because Lucia called it first that she's quick enough to go down the hole. I'm not gonna do opposed rolls. Just
Yeah,
gonna
no,
let
that's
her
fine.
go. She finds there is a ladder, much like the ladder in the other crawl space. And it goes down. There is a creaking of wood underneath her step. It's possible this ladder hasn't been used in a while. But it goes down and down into the dark. Lucia, you feel a breath on the back of your neck,
And she'll be,
about halfway down.
but was that you? It's not funny sneaking up on people.
I'm not sneaking up on anyone.
And then, Lucia, I need you to make a... What is going to be a fair check to make you make? Have you got... Yeah, we'll make a dodge check.
Oh, this is not gonna go well. But I want to see what happens. Fail.
Fail. Hands grab both of your ankles and pull.
She screams.
You are pulled off of this ladder and down into the dark.
She
Eddie.
screams the entire way but she'll be reaching for the knife that she has. One of them is up her sleeve, so
Oh, God.
Eddie, Helena, you hear screaming in the walls of the house. Blood-curdling, terrified screams.
Oh shit! But I can't tell where they're coming from.
Just the walls of the house. Doesn't sound like any room you've been in. Maybe that... I think, Helena, you went into the living room, correct? With Lucia? No, you didn't. No one went in that room. It was only Bert that went in that room, I think.
Yeah, we looked in through the window, but Bert went in.
Yeah. So you have no idea. Is maybe that living room, maybe that far side of the house, you're not sure. Maybe outside of the house? But it sounds like it's inside. It's a confusing sound. And Bert, what are you doing at the very top of the house? As Lucia screams.
I'm gonna draw my gun. I'm at the top of the ladder, right?
Yep.
I guess I hear her screaming, drop. How far
Yeah.
does it drop?
Make an intelligence check. I think that's the fairest.
Narrow success.
No success. Okay. You imagine that she's probably fallen further than the ground floor of the house.
Okay, so I'm not just gonna jump. But what I might do is take that rag I had earlier and put it on the palm of my hand, and I'm gonna hop on the ladder and see if I can just slide down it rather than climb. Just put my feet on either side of the rungs,
Okay.
handkerchief on my hand to stop from getting rope burn, and just slide down.
I'm gonna say what is a good skill for you to use to do this. It's kind of like an inverse climbing technique.
Oh God, I'm
Think
gonna
about
kill us all.
what think about which skill you think will be appropriate, and we'll come back to you. Helena, Eddie, screams. What are you doing?
Eddie, you're in the lead, so I'm just following you.
You are, and we're on the ground floor. Yes.
Yep.
Going down the hall.
Yep.
Investigating the door closing sound.
Yep.
And I hear screams in the walls, but I don't know from where. Let's finish I like look at Helena, make sure, and I like look at her eyes to see if she heard that too. Did you hear that?
Yes.
All right, we're going this way. And like I walk down the hall, and I'm just gonna go establish that there's no one who snuck into the house on that side of the house.
Okay, so you peek into the kitchen, the first room. This was open. This is pretty clear. You check, you peer in. No one is in there that you can see. Next up will be that closet with the crawl space beyond it that goes all the way up to the top of the attic. How thoroughly do you check this? There is a line of coats and things in your way that block you from seeing that dark space beyond.
Is there a coat that looks like it will fit me?
Yeah, there's a gentleman's coat in there.
All right, I switch my coat. And then I look at Helena. Is she still soaked?
Yep.
All right, I'm going to pull a coat and put it around her shoulders.
Okay, you pull another coat out of there. The coat hanger just kind of swings, making a creaking sound.
All right, I bunch it up over your shoulders, and you got your arm like this, and I tighten it up, and be like, all right, I don't want to leave Bert and Lucia here. Do you want me to sit you? Ah, shit. You want to go to the porch and sit down? You want to get out of here and get some air? And then we'll go back in and get them? How are you feeling?
She's feeling better than she was earlier, a lot more aware now after the telephone incident. More aware of what's going on and the danger that they're in. So she's not going to, like, you can leave her on her own and she's not going to do anything bad, I don't think. So if you wanted to leave her even here and go upstairs, that'd be fine.
I'm not going to leave you. If I leave you alone, I'm not leaving you in this house. You're either going to go like sit on the porch. The house, Helena, the house it's like the courthouse. There's something
Above
going
you,
on.
Eddie, you hear the sound of footsteps on the floorboards walking down the corridor of the floor above you.
And I like look up, and I like look back at Helena. I'm like, it's the house. It's like the courthouse. We're being attacked. We are vulnerable, and we've got to get the hell out of here, or we're not getting out.
I'm coming with you then.
All right, then we are going upstairs. We're going slowly but deliberately, and you are right behind me.
Okay.
The phone
Okay.
begins to ring.
And I like shake my head because I think I'm to the point where I don't believe there's a phone here.
There are rooms that you haven't looked in, Eddie.
We gotta check that last room. We have to.
You have 2 rooms that you haven't looked in yet.
You're going to back me up this time. You ready?
Okay.
All right. Where's the first room we haven't looked in? It's on the ground floor, right? It's the one I stood by?
It's on the next
All right.
The next floor up, you have 2 rooms. You have one next to the room that Helena went into and burst into tears, and then there's one that's opposite the very steep set of stairs.
All right. That's where we're going first. We're going upstairs. We're going to go to that one.
Okay. But we decided what check you'd like to make to slide down this ladder.
I can't see anything better than climb.
Okay, we will go with climb. Climb or luck? I would also take luck.
My luck is actually worse than my climb
Okay,
right now.
we'll go with your climb. Ooh, very nice. A hard success. You grab on and let's just slide. And you are very grateful the sides of this ladder are smooth and well polished. It seems
yes.
well tended to. And near the bottom, the shaking kind of starts to get to your hands, but you hold steady and you hop off and you are in the dark. And you can see around you, there are slats of wood through which very faint light is coming. You're almost certain you're under the house in that raised up portion, and there is no sign of Lucia.
Okay, I want to make a luck roll. I got my torch out earlier, but it didn't work.
Okay.
I want to like slap it against my leg and see if I can just jar it into working. The good old fashioned.
Okay.
If in doubt, give it a clout.
Wow. Very close. You could spend. I guess you could spend luck on a luck roll. It's just sanity you can't spend on.
Do I want to? Yeah, I want to spend sanity. I want to spend my luck. God
Okay.
damn it! I'm taking my luck down to a 14 now. God damn it. But I'd like the torch to just flicker into like,
Okay.
even if it's dim light, I'll take anything, and then
There's
I'll
a
go.
strangeness as the torch flickers on. This isn't the normal yellow white light. This is an ultraviolet light. And as you
Oh.
swing it around, it illuminates the space. And it is strangely, you can use it as a light to see by, but it seems to illuminate things that aren't there as well.
Yeah.
There are phantom objects down here, and you see also footsteps outlined.
So all right. Yeah, I remember you. It's been a lot of years. I thought you'd left me alone. Okay, I'm gonna put my gun under the torch, that old policeman style, you know, or next to rather, and start pointing it at things. Now, if you've got Lucia down here, she's a sweet lady. She runs the local restaurant. She doesn't need any of this grief. She's delicate. Why don't you just let her go? I'm gonna start following the footsteps.
Lucia, you fell into the darkness, and you don't know how long you were falling, but you remember the thud as you hit ground. And as you open up your eyes, you're in a familiar room, the kitchen in Miller's Cafe. It's dark in here. Must be late, must be after closing. Maybe everyone got you home. And then you hear the click of a lighter and the familiar smell of cigar smoke. Good evening, baby girl. Nice to be able to join us finally.
She will immediately pull out her shotgun and point it at wherever the voice is.
You reach for that shotgun and it is not there. And what is worse is you cannot move your arms. You are bound by heavy chains to something large. And your father comes slowly walking round, swinging his feet with each step of his stride. Did I know what you did? And he's tutting. And you hear him crack his knuckles one by one as he looms over you.
She sort of chews like the side, like the inside of her cheek, and she's not. It's like it's a mixture of fear, but she's very angry as well, and she's not too sure which one it is right now. So, you shouldn't be here.
And in your peripherals, you feel that feeling again of being watched by something else. And on the other side of you, two men step forward with heads like rats. There's a kind of a snickering, gnawing sound as they seem to have a conversation between them, their whiskers twitching, their arms still made of tree branches.
So, is it you that's been following me?
Shh.
Don't shush me.
You learned nothing, Lucia.
What was I supposed to learn?
You were supposed to learn to be a good girl.
Mother was a good girl, and look what you did to her.
I'm offended.
Good.
And at this point, you feel this fist just rock straight into your face. You are unable to dodge, unable to avoid it. And this feeling of your jaw just shattering, of blood spurting, teeth loosened if not dislodged. And then another fist comes down and strikes you, and you feel that bone around your eye just bruise and begin to crack and break. And everything is in a second, but at the same time it takes the longest time. It's excruciating, it's torture. And then you hear the click of his fingers. And whatever it is that you are bound to is lifted by the two men with rats' heads. And you are carried outside into the night. And
is it actual blood or is it just the feeling of it?
It seems like actual blood.
Okay, so
you can taste that iron, you can feel the...
She will try and hold back tears, but it's more tears of that they're stinging. And if they walk out past him, she will spit right at him with whatever blood she's got in her mouth.
Yeah, you could turn your head and spit. You turn, you spit. And he laughs. And then you hear the sound of the interior door of the cafe open. And your three brothers walk into the room to stand behind your father. And they are the last things you see as you are taken out into the night, into the dark, out through that copse behind the cafe towards Norman's house. And you feel you hear the squishing sound of those footsteps in that damp, boggy earth. And then you are thrown, swung. The chest swings out, and you are thrown into the water, into a pond, and you sink further and further. Your lungs begin filling with water, and you are chained and you are bound. What do?
She is screaming and trying to, not in like an uncontrollable scream, she's trying to get people's attention if there is any, and she's trying to work her way out of these chains and use her feet to try. So is she in a closed chest, like a...
You feel like you're on a chest, like that sort of shape. Okay. You're on something weighted, something heavy. So you're bound over the top of it, almost kind of like Christ on the cross. That sort of been spread out, and you've been bound across this thing.
She's kicking her legs to try and get these chains off. If it's on one end, she's trying to kick her legs off of it.
Okay, I will allow you to make an extremely hard strength check.
I'm going to use a nat 20.
Okay, nat 20. That's fine. You wiggle, you kick, you pull, and you get one leg free. You hear a painful crack. Something in your foot, one of those many bones just went, but it doesn't matter because that leg is now free. But you are still going into this darkness. There is still water, and as you scream, you're letting out all of your oxygen. What are you going to do?
She's probably going to hold on to the last bit of breath she's got and try and just wriggle her top half out so she can swim upwards.
Okay, I'm going to need another extreme success.
Yeah, there's going to be another nat 20.
Okay. You wriggle and you contort your body in ways that you didn't know your body could be contorted. There's more pain. It doesn't matter. You break free of whatever is sinking, whatever is falling, whatever's dragging you down into this darkness. What do you do?
So, can I just swim up to the top?
If you can figure out which way is up.
Yeah, she will let a couple of bubbles go out of her mouth just so that she can see which way is up. It's something that, funnily enough, her dad showed her.
The last of your breath is gone from your lungs, and you follow the bubbles as they ascend through this thick and murky water. And you swim. I'd like you to make an extremely hard swim check.
Let's have a look.
Sorry, an extreme, I should say, not a hard.
Yeah, I may as well use my last nat 20.
All right. You swim. Every part of your body hurts. Every part of you is screaming for oxygen. It burns. You involuntarily take in a mouthful of water. As you can't fight it anymore, your body just needs the oxygen. It needs you to breathe. And you break the surface, hacking. And around you, you see you're in a lake. A lake surrounded by 3 wooden cabins. No idea how you've come here. The sun is setting. The world is peaceful.
she will exit the lake. Has she got any of her weapons on her now?
You appear to have no weapons on you, and strapped to your foot there is still a chain which rattles.
She will take the chain off her foot and wrap it round her wrist and let a bit of it hang down so that if anyone comes near her, she will be swinging it.
Which direction do you walk through the woods?
Well, in her head, she's come from somewhere, possibly a cabin, because everything in her head is messed up. Right now, she's angry and she's on a mission, so she's dripping wet, and she sort of just wipes, if there is blood there, like away, and wraps the chain around her wrist, and will just walk towards the cabin.
Okay. Lucia walks through the woods, a chain wrapped around her wrist. Eddie, Helena, what are you doing as you go upstairs? You have 2 doors left to open.
I think we're going in the one, not the one that I was nearest to, the one at the top of the stairs.
So you have one opposite the steep flight of stairs, and
That
then you have
one.
one next to the door that you've already opened.
Yeah, the one opposite the stairs.
You come up onto that landing, you walk the length of the corridor, and you open the door. And this is the bathroom. In the bathroom, you see the normal objects you see in a bathroom. There's a sink, there's a toilet, and there is a bath. And the bath is filled with a dark, murky water. And the mirror up on the wall has a smoked effect to it, as if someone's kind of cleaned it, but they've just smeared the dirt around rather than actually taking it off the surface, kind of a greasy look.
Am I ahead of Eddie now? Did I like walk around you? Or are you?
Yeah, you went in front of me. I think I'm quietly annoyed that you opened the door without us breaking into it, because I'm freaking out about your safety. But I'm like, got my shoulder against the door jamb, and I'm watching you look around the bathroom. And if I can make eye contact with you, I'll be like, bathroom.
Yeah, I'm super focused now, so I'm still technically in a kind of insanity mode, but I'm more focused on, I don't know what, but something. I'm finding something of discovering something, not even escaping. In my mind, I'm not like, oh, I need to get out. It's more like I need to solve what's going on.
The answer.
Find it.
And so you cross the threshold into the bathroom.
Yes.
The door slams behind you. Eddie,
Oh!
you are cut off from Helena.
Cool.
Oh.
I'm banging on it. I turn around and I'm banging on it, screaming Eddie.
Oh my god. I'm a banging on it too. I'm like, can you hear me? Can you hear this?
Can we hear each other?
No.
Oh no.
Can I hear her screaming and banging?
No.
Oh my god.
Either both of you hear an emptiness on the other side of the door.
Does the door open toward me or toward her?
Opens into the bathroom.
We haven't even tried opening it yet, so I want to at least try and pull the handle and see.
As you reach down, there is no handle. As you look closer, there is no seam around this door. It is just a wall.
Is there a window?
There is no window
No.
in the bathroom. But underneath the house.
Oh, come on.
I'm just looking at the time. We haven't got long left. You are crawling around, and the ceiling kind of slopes down as the earth under the house isn't even, and this is why it's been raised up to make it a nice level house.
Mm-hmm.
And you see these footsteps, and at some point, they just start walking around in a tight circle. And as you swing your torch and your gun, so you've got both,
Yeah.
over the wall, you see writing.
I'm not gonna read the writing straight away. I'm gonna acknowledge it's there, but I don't have a partner with me, so I'm just gonna check my 6 and just make sure that I can't see Lucia or anyone else around me. So I'm just gonna do a quick scan of the entire room, and then go back to the writing.
Make a spot hidden check.
I'm good at those.
You are. You turn around and for one moment you think there's a person stood behind you or near to behind you, but it's just the upright strut of the house. It just had a strange shadow. And as you scan around with your strange and quirky light, you seem to be alone. You can hear very distantly movement in the house up above you, but it's so quiet.
All right. Well, if there's no one else here, I guess I'll read this writing and I'll take the light back, but this time I'll separate my gun and arm, so like my gun is sort of at my side, ready to draw if I need it, rather than pointing at the wall, because that just feels stupid. So I'll just be still holding the torch reverse, so I can use it gun-wise if I need to, but I'm just gonna have a read of the writing.
Okay, I need you to make a sanity check.
Oh, these are always fun.
Yeah, always the most fun.
Hard success.
Very good. Okay. As you read, the wall says, "By the hands of the innocent, the guilt is seen, and the innocent condemned by the peers that watched."
He's gonna read it one more time.
By the now I can't remember what I said. Shit, I was practicing this for like the last 2 minutes in my head.
By the
By the eyes of the innocent, the guilt condemned. By the hands. Wait, that's wrong. By the eyes of the innocent, the guilt seen. By the hands of the innocent, the guilt condemned. I think it was something like that. I will double check that. I'm really sorry. I didn't write it down. I should have done. Had it in my brain.
No, that's okay. Right, because I heard it first time and I was like, oh wow, that's really cool, but I need to remember it. Hence why he was reading it
Yeah,
again.
I should have written it down. But we will check. And as you're looking at it, the words are kind of shifting and changing. And so the second read is a little bit different from the first read, but you know that it's to do with innocence, and it's to do with condemnation, and it's to do with being witness. And in the back of your head, you hear the sound of a splashing, of a stone maybe skipping over the surface of a lake.
Just like I was a boy. That feels familiar.
And then a more abrupt splashing. The sound of people maybe escaping a lake that they've fallen into. Maybe just one person. And you realize that you are still looking for Lucia.
Yeah, that's right. Eyes of the innocent, hands of the innocent. That's probably Lucia. I'll go back to cross arms. Lucia, and carry on investigating down here.
Eventually, I'm gonna just wrap this up because we're getting near the end. Eventually, investigating around, you do find there is a small panel which is slightly ajar, as if it has been pulled away to allow people access under the house here. And it's through here that you come out, and you are near the front of the house, and you can hear moving through the woods a person. You know that just not far from here are cabin 9 and cabin 11, and there's another lake on this side of the house, which is currently barred to you by a kind of a row of trees.
Okay, so my understanding from this that I need to get out of this basement and go back up?
Well, this is the way that would be out, and you know that you can hear someone moving outside.
Yeah.
A little way away from you, and looking out, you can see like this is the front of the property.
In that case, I'll come out and I'll point my torch towards where I can hear them, and possibly be like, "Hey, freeze!" If I can see them.
Okay, but Helena, you are faced with a wall. You know that your friend was just on the other side, but they're not now. They're now.
I think that so there is a window, right?
There's no window in the bathroom.
Can I go to, I'm gonna go to the sink and see what's there. I'm scared of the bathtub.
Sorry, what were you doing on the sink? I was just typing up the soundbite.
I am going to see if there's any kind of, I don't know. I mean, there's no door. I'm stuck in here. I think I'm just kind of freaking out and looking around and just seeing things. I don't think I have a clear, like, I'm going to find this thing and do this thing yet, because
Okay. So looking around this room, you can see the sink over which there is this smeared mirror, which is currently kind of reflecting the wall behind you. And then and then on the wall next to you, there is the toilet, which is pretty normal. It's got the kind of suspended system. And then on the far wall, there is this large bathtub with cast iron feet, which is just below full of this murky water. And you can see where dirt has kind of collected and dried, and the water is slowly kind of evaporating off.
Okay, I'll go to the mirror.
Okay. And in what way are you looking at this mirror? Are you just like straight on looking at it to look at yourself? Are you using it to look around the room?
I think the way that I would walk up to it is kind of like diagonally, so I can see things and I kind of slowly turn to face it, but I want to like look at it before my face is actually in it, to see if anything happens.
So looking at it, as you slowly angle round, it's almost as if you see the door is there behind you, where it should be. But then as you catch sight of yourself, you see the mess that you are. You see the makeup that has run, the hair that is limp, the clothes that are soaked just below the spare coat that you've been given, a coat that doesn't belong to you, a coat that belongs to this house. And you feel that pain in your arm where it needs medical attention. Nothing has really been done other than it's been strapped to you. And you feel once more the hysteria sinking in. Do you laugh or do you cry?
Laugh this time.
And as you laugh, you hear other laughter from elsewhere in the house. From downstairs in the living room, you hear a man and a woman laughing at a joke. From somewhere else, two children, maybe two little boys, are running around playing, calling each other names and laughing. Up above you, somewhere in the attic, there's a quiet chuckle. And then the phone rings. The damn phone that you can't find, that is somewhere close, yet far away. And you remember a time when you and Amelia had been laughing about the trips that you would take, laughing about the funny events of one of your book meetings, laughing about a time when some silly girl had been infatuated with you, when she had not known better, when she had not known that the world wasn't the way that she imagined. And in your mouth, you remember the taste of the wine that you'd had that night. And you can almost remember the sentence you'd been writing in your book that day before you'd stopped work to meet with Amelia. And as you look in the mirror, you see Amelia's face, and she is laughing as you laugh. Eddie, you're the other side of the door that seems to be disappearing as the cracks and the seams are sealing up before your very eyes, and that the handle to the door has vanished. Inside, you hear Helena, for the first time since the door slammed shut and you struggled to get it open again. And she is laughing. It's maniacal. It's unstopping. It's almost as if she can't breathe because she is laughing so hard. What do you do?
Nope, not going to happen. Here's what's going to happen. Tucking the gun into my waistband with my only functional hand, I'm going to get as much runway in the hall as I possibly can. And then with my left shoulder in front, I have a 20, right? Don't I?
Yeah, I think you have a nat 20.
There you go. I'm gonna take this net 20 and I'm gonna throw my entire body weight right at what's left of that door.
All right. You take your little run up, you get your shoulder ready, you crash into it, and it is a solid wall. Because you used a nat 20, I'm going to say that you didn't injure yourself in this effort, but it is solid. You cannot get through. You cannot get in there. And as you turn, you see there is a man that's just come up the stairs. He says, "You shouldn't be here. What are you doing here?" And he is angry. And he calls out for someone. You don't catch the name. And you hear that there's movement in the house below. Someone else is coming up the stairs. What do you do?
I'm on the ground.
No, you're just up against the wall. I'm saying because you had that nat 20, you're gonna retain some composure. Your arm is
Okay.
probably throbbing. Your good arm is throbbing. Your bad arm is numb.
Okay. I'm gonna turn around and look at this person. What does he look like?
This is a man, probably in his 30s, maybe 40s. It's one of those people who probably kind of looks the same, and he's got some facial hair which masks some of his features. And there's something distinctly familiar about him. And reaching back in your mind, you remember that you've seen this man. You've definitely seen this man somewhere before. And then you remember the family portrait. The portrait of the family that have been murdered in this house. This is the father. This
Do I
is
remember-
Mr. Abrams.
Do I remember reading what happened? He was murdered.
He was murdered in this house.
I'm gonna like look at his face. He keeps talking to me. He keeps looking.
Yeah, he's looking. He's watching you. He's trying to decide what to do. He's called for someone else. And up the stairs, another young man comes. He's a good 6 foot tall and he's brawny, but he's definitely younger. And you recognize him as the eldest son that was murdered as well. And he says something to you. It's aggressive, but you can't quite make out the words. There's something strange and something wrong, and I need you to make a sanity check.
Ooh, boy. Oh, good gravy. That's a fail, but not. I'm not spending the luck. I fail it.
Okay, you can't spend luck on sanity anyway. So
Oh, right. Yeah.
fail your sanity check, and you are going to take
Shit.
1 point of sanity loss.
Oh, yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah, I'll be all
You say it's not bad,
right. What's
but you see cuts slowly form across the cheeks of Mr. Abrams, joining at his chin and then down his throat, exposing the vocal cords, going deeper until his throat is cleaved in two, and you can see the spine surrounded by the muscle. And his clothes begin to seep and darken as blood seeps through them. And then you glance to the boy. That was always how he was described in the papers. The Abrams boy. The oldest Abrams boy. And you see his head tilts. And it just keeps going. As if on a hinge in its neck. And it falls away. And tumbles down the stairs. More footprints are coming towards you, Eddie. More people in this house are stirring. And you hear the voice again. You shouldn't be here. What are you doing here? And Helena behind you is laughing and laughing and laughing in the bathroom.
I pull my gun and
Which
I
hand do
pointed-
you?
I use my right hand. Well, I pull my gun with my right hand. I reach behind me, and I look at this old man looking at me, and I go, "I don't talk to dead people." And I'm gonna look at him. I'm gonna look at him really carefully, and I'm gonna see if he's real. Do I think he's real?
Make. I'm gonna say a sanity check. I think that's the only fair thing to decide if this is a real person or not.
That is a failure. I'm gonna blow his head off.
Oops, wrong chat. Bear with. Ooh, okay. You reach out that right hand, you pull, you slowly squeeze on that trigger, and his head explodes. All of that damage from these cuts just destroyed like a watermelon with a mallet, just completely eviscerated as it goes all up the wall behind you. And the Abrams boy lurches up the stairs, this headless body. It's ready to fight. It's coming towards you. There's a sound of running feet as more and more people are coming up the stairs.
I'm gonna turn and face him, and I'm gonna pull the hammer back again. I'm gonna go, fun's over, big guy, and I'm gonna blow his head off.
Okay, make a firearms check for me. I gave you the first one for free, but I'm gonna see if you can hit the second one.
And you know, Charlie, I appreciate it. When I'm on a killing spree,
I know.
want much.
You want those combo points, I know.
Do it. Yeah, no.
You completely miss, and the body gets closer and closer. Its arm pulls back as if it's going to hit you. But have you left the underside of the house?
Yeah, I'll be coming out, looking for that person I can hear walking nearby, with my gun and torch combo.
Lucia, you hear Bert call for whoever's hiding to come out.
So what can I see now? So am I still outside or?
Yes, you are still outside. You are between two cabins on the edge of a lake.
Do I still have the chain in my hand?
Still have the chain in your hand.
Okay, and she'll just call out to Bella, like, what?
Lucia?
I told you I wanted to go home. And now look at me. Like, she's just like shouting at herself more than anything, but...
Well, I mean, at least you're outside. What are you doing outside?
She has a think. I don't know.
Lucia, some part of your mind says, I swam here, and you have that memory of falling, and you fell into something thick and sludgy, and you had to swim as hard as you could to get out of it, and you remember tearing your own clothes off to try and get through it as they were creating too much drag, they were too heavy. And you remember still that dream, that moment, that night in the cafe with your three brothers and the two rat men and your father. But the reality is confusing. You don't know which was true. You know which one you hoped wasn't true.
She's probably basically just in a pair of trousers, got rid of her boots because they would have made her sink more in like sort of one of those like vest type things. And she's like, oh, I feel so bad. Where am I? What? And she's like rubbing her face.
But Lucia is caked in this thick, boggy mud. It's just everywhere. You can see that she's undressed to some extent, that she has this rusted chain around her hand, also coated in this filth. And there's that smell, that stagnant water, peaty bog smell about her.
Jesus, Lucia, you're a complete... Look, next time when I say I need to go first, let me go first. Look at yourself.
But
Have you looked? Have you taken a long look?
And she's like dripping. She probably looks an absolute mess, a mixture of just scary and a mess. I want to go home. We find
All right.
we find Helena, and then we go home.
All right. Well, I suppose we haven't really managed to find anything too interesting. I'll tell you what. You stay out here, and I'll just pop back in and grab Eddie and Helena, and we'll get on out.
Where are my guns, Bert?
What are you talking about, Lucia? You told me you don't like guns.
I love guns. Where are my guns, Bert?
I don't know. I haven't seen them.
Well, give me your gun. I'm not staying out here on my own with nothing but a chain. Fine, I can do some damage with it, but if I'm at a distance, I'm at a disadvantage. Give it to me.
He thinks for a moment. He says, "Yeah, it's not right that a lady should be out here without any protection. Now, look, this is the safety. You pull the hammer back like
He'll
this."
just take it out of his hand and like just spin it, lock it back. He's like, okay, I got it.
All right. Now, don't put your finger on the trigger unless you mean to shoot someone.
Get going, Bert.
All right, I'm gonna go get Eddie and stuff.
And as you turn to go back into the house, up that porch and on through that front door, you hear Eddie screaming for Helena, and you hear Helena calling for Eddie somewhere upstairs. Something is going wrong in the house.
Eddie, are you okay? Eddie? Eddie, goddammit.
You hear Bert calling for you, and you turn your head as this fist just comes flying into your face, and it hits you for... Okay, we will say 5 points.
Oh,
As
that guy hit the crap out of me.
it not only hits you, but the skin falls away as it hits yours, and bone protrudes, and it's just cut straight into your cheek. Deep, deep wound.
Oh, does it knock my is my handkerchief still on my face?
I will say that is probably... Yeah, he probably punched you just like clean through that, and he probably has to like retract
Okay.
out
Cool.
of this cloth. It's kind of like Wolverine claws just came flying out of his hand, but it was just like his knuckles and his bone.
Oh, good times. Well, he knocked on nearly half my HP away, so that's fun. Yeah, if I was gonna shout anything back to Bert, I'm not gonna do it now because I imagine I just spun around and am on my back.
And
Did
with
he
the
knock me off my
force of
feet?
the blow, and you were knocked back, you tumble through the door into the bathroom with Helena.
Oh my god. I mean, hey, how's it going? Yeah, so I go back into the bathroom and I turn and see Helena.
Yep, Helena is in there. She's staring at herself in the mirror. Helena, you see the door open and Eddie come flying backwards through it. And in the reflection, you see also 2 men stood at the top of the stairs.
I think that I would kind of like snap out of whatever I'm in and like look over that way towards them and kind of back up a little bit because I have no protection. But we'll see.
And as you turn and look, you see 2 different men from the men that Eddie saw. You saw 2 men that you don't recognize.
Okay.
They are unclean is probably the kindest description. They have just a filth smeared across their faces, making their features really hard to distinguish. One of them has this hat, but half of the rim has come away from the larger part. They have these oversized coats on, and the stench is just coming towards you. Just unclean, unhygienic people.
Oh man.
And I need you to make a sanity check.
Okay, yeah. I don't know how to defend myself in this situation. Sanity. Oh, failed.
Failed, alright. You lose 1 point of sanity. As these 2 men turn to you, and you feel the fear, that feeling of I have no way of defending myself, and they both fall to their knees with their hands clenched in front of them, and they are begging you, please see the truth. And then you hear Bert calling. And Bert, I imagine you've come up the stairs?
Yeah,
You're
I've
gonna-
started walking up the stairs. I'll be there.
And he passes straight through these 2 men.
Especially if I can hear these guys falling over and stuff. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
poke my head through the door, sort of,
Well, I'm pointing my gun at it because the guy's coming at me. You may walk right into me pointing a gun at you.
Okay.
Eddie,
So-
what in the Sam? What are you doing?
Eddie, make a sanity check. I want to see if you recognize Bert.
Oh God.
This is a bad house for Bert.
Bert,
we
tell
go
Eddie he won't do it. Tell him he doesn't want to shoot you.
Oh,
There you
that's
go.
awesome.
This is a good time to roll a 2. Eddie,
Oh.
you recognize Bert in the last second and your finger comes off that trigger. Lucia, what are you doing?
Lucia is so done. She is outside. She sat down on like the porch of the house, and she, don't get me wrong, she's still quite nervous.
Mm-hmm.
She's keeping the chain wrapped around one hand and the gun ready in the other. But she sat down. She hurts. Her side is killing, and she. Do I hear any of this chaos that's happening inside?
Yeah, you hear a door bang against a wall. You hear the sound of Eddie shouting, and there's Bert calling, and Helena is laughing, is crying, there's some sound, there's a whimpering kind of sound. But it kind of feels distant to you as you look up at the sky and you see that night has somehow crept upon you. The sun has fallen beneath the horizon and it is dark. The moon is rising and the stars are coming out. And the sky is swirling in a green, insipid, thick, stormy color.
And she'll just sort of look up.
And you are reminded of Eddie's words that the sky is a poisonous garden. And as you turn your head, you see a figure staring at you through the trees. And in the other direction, a car screeches off.
And she
through
looks
trails.
over to the. It's almost like she is scared, but after everything that's happened, she looks and she sort of assumes who it is. She's like, I hate rats. And will just stare back at this, making it obvious that she's looking at them.
And that's where we're in today's episode.
Whew.
Wild.
You don't want to play for like 2 more hours? What? What could be fun? What are you doing? Nothing.
Mhm.
Oh man.
Like,
Good grief.
like Murder Shack doesn't cover it. You know.
Insanity Shack.
No, more like Welcome to Charlie's Wild Ride or something. I don't know. You know, like.
The roller coaster shack.
But guys, you haven't found the phone!
We're trying.
Hey,
I'm trying.
Lucia doesn't care now. She's gone. She's out. She's done. She's going back to a cafe.
Bert is
I'm gonna
solidly
find that
trying.
phone.
Bert was solidly trying.
Okay, so it's the end of the session, and we're going to do what we normally do. We're going to go around and we're going to talk about our favorite bits, and we're going to talk about our wishes for the next session. Why don't we start with Anna/Helena, since we came to you last in our initial roundup?
Okay, so I am really excited to have been trapped in a bathroom. That was cool. I like being trapped in places. I also really look forward to finding this telephone because I don't think it's a good thing, but it might be. I'm trying to find the clues and figure out what ever happened. So I'm really looking forward to those 2 guys, whatever they said to me. What was it? Find the answer or find
the truth.
Find the truth. Yeah. So that seems like that's Helena's new. Oh no, I just heard something. I got to do something with this now. So she's in this moment since we stopped right there. That's her focus, is figuring out what those 2 guys are talking about. So yeah, I liked that a lot. I want to figure out what they're talking about. Because I know we're planning on trying to leave this house, but it doesn't look like it's happening. So it looks like we're missing something, and we need to find that thing. So
Okay, and let's go to Lucia/Alice next.
Yeah, I love this. I think I loved everyone's interactions, but like the personal bits everyone had to go through as well. Lucia is so done, just in general, I think. Especially with the whole image of her father, it was an innate fear that she had, but she's very angry as well for everything that he stands for. I love that Helena is basically a mental case now. Like, absolutely, she's lost it. She's a nut job, basically. She's laughing and crying at everything. And I love that Eddie is actually the one who's really trying to get us out, rally everyone together, and just try and like herd cats, basically. Like, we need to leave, but why aren't we? And I really like the interactions between Lucia and Bert, as always, because they're two very, very different people. And I think I would like to see maybe, and I think it's building when Lucia maybe Bert suddenly realizes what Lucia is, I think. So, but yeah.
Okay. And let's go to Eddie / Travis. What was your favorite bit, and what do you look forward to next time?
I just think that it was about 3 times during this where I knew what I was about to do something I was pretty excited about, and then like totally had the rug pulled out from under me, and I'm like, what? I know, and I'm gonna have to watch. I'm watching all of them twice because I'm a shameless fan of this show, and I can't wait to watch it because I know at least 3 times I was like, I'm sorry, what? And I just love that this guy is fumbling for any kind of control over anything and not getting it at all. And I got to blow a guy's head off, or did I? It's awesome. I love it. And the noose is tightening. I also like how Eddie's completely convinced that we are under attack, that we are under siege, and we got to get the hell out of this house. It's crazy. It's crazy. And we may never get out of this house. That's how I felt about halfway through this. Like, I don't know how the hell we're going to get out of here. We're rats in a maze. Like, you can't get out of the house. And the front door is right there. Anyway, it's awesome.
And the back door. Got 2
And the
doors.
back door. And the windows. I may jump out a window next week. It's awesome.
Scrap / Bert.
Oh, hi. Bert's almost the exact opposite of Eddie, where Eddie is just like, these damn women and Eddie, like, this is just another crime scene. If we just all stop messing around. I mean, sure, the only thing that's really happened to Bert was when he was sleeping. So, like, he was like, I had a bit of a bad dream, but it's a scene of a murder. You're gonna have a bad dream. Why are these guys freaking out so much? So, yeah, Bert's... Oh, he's literally down on his luck, though. Like, literally, 14 luck is all Bert currently has, because I've been spending it on making everyday things work properly, like torches. Like, god damn it. Yeah, down on his luck, down on his sanity, still thinking he's holding on, which is possibly part of the sanity. Yeah, it's good fun. Getting hanged when you're a woman and your daughter's watching.
And your ex-wife and your daughter's ex-lover.
Oh yeah. Like,
You've ever known and met.
I didn't really clarify, but the moment you said like Victoria, like everyone else just sort of disappeared, and if he could have called out to her, he would have done. But then before you know, he... So yeah.
Okay.
Ugh.
Anna, do you have anything you'd like to plug today?
No.
No. If anyone would like to follow this wonderful lady, she is Ephemeroptera on the Twitters. I'm sure Scrat will put it in chat so you can check that out. Wonderful, wonderful human being with lots of beautiful mantises.
Yeah.
Bug man.
The new mantis. What was it? The lotus mantis.
Oh, we were looking like, oh, I love how into bugs I am now.
So I've wanted an orchid mantis forever. Like, that's the ones you see on the internet all the time because they're beautiful, but it's so hard to find them for like good prices. So the guy that I buy them from, he finally got them, and I got them like the day he uploaded them.
She's got a mantis guy.
Yeah, I got them.
I'm sorry, I'll go ask a man about a mantis.
I have 12 now, so.
Hey, 12 mantises or 12 mantis guys? Because that's a different scale of problem.
She keeps them in the cupboard and she bites their head off when she's done with them.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother Cthulhu like set right there.
Right?
Ooh, good idea.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, if you do a Cthulhu setting at any point, you've got to bring all that crazy bug stuff with you. That'd be...
I might write one.
Okay,
Dude.
let's hop up to Travis. Do you have anything you'd like to share or plug today?
Yes, I'm the producer of WebDM. Today, we debuted our Monday videos. So now we are doing 2 videos a week, one on Monday and one on Wednesday. And the world will never be the same, particularly my world, as I'm now doing 2 videos a week. So check it out. They did Monday and Magic Items, and I'm very pleased with it. and I had a great time putting it together. And also on Wednesday, we're talking about the monsters of the Cthulhu mythos, so don't miss that. And thank you very much for having me at the Marvelous Graticus Academy. This is a joy and a pleasure, and thank you for having me.
And we'll also try and get that intro video that kind of caused a hiccup at the start of the show up onto YouTube so you can see it. It's kind of our best bit, and we'll try and get another go of it for the next time. And thank you to everyone who contributed in finding those clips. We had a little team on it last night, so thank you. Alice.
Yeah, I am White Rabbit Pick on Twitter. I am also the headmistress of the academy. I'm DMing Eberron later on this evening. I'm also the DM for Eden and Argo 37. And when I'm not doing that, I am a photographer, which we're going through a little bit of a soft rebrand with that right now. And I'm very, very excited for some projects that are coming with that. So yeah, that's exciting stuff. But I think that's it. Yeah.
And I'm at Frost from Fire on the Twitters. I really enjoyed today. I enjoyed getting to do bad things to everyone with permission from chat and leading them down dark paths and queer rabbit holes. And they found a secret. They did find one in the house, and they're very close to another one. So we'll see how that goes. I love playing with these people. I already want it to be Monday again. I wish we could play for longer. Scrap, can we just extend these sessions?
Yeah, just.
I mean, you know.
But I am back on this channel again tomorrow, same time. If you're in the UK, that will be 5:30. If you're in the US, it's 1:30. It's a little bit different because this week we're on daylight savings time shenanigans. But next week we'll be back to that 1 p.m. schedule, and that's Wizards and Wardrobes, which is my D&D game. Then Wednesdays I am playing Warhammer on Encounter Roleplay at 4 p.m. Eastern. On Thursdays I'm beginning a game of Monster Hearts over on Sophie May's channel, which I'm very excited about. And Fridays it's Roll Up and Invisible Sun. That's on Encounter and Grimjack 25120. Some numbers after his name. Everyone knows Greg. Everyone knows Greg.
I love Greg. I love Greg.
Who doesn't love Greg? And that game's run by Grant Ellis, as are most of the Invisible Sun games. I'm really excited. I get to do my hair and my makeup. In fact, I'm doing hair and makeup like all week this week for various things. So yeah, expect to see my face in a lot of different shades all week. And I'm really sorry that I hit Eddie so hard, but
Dude, I'm gonna have the Michael Corleone shiner, after today, where your face is all just one giant lumped up, black eye with the like the eyes kind of swollen shut. I can't wait for that.
That's me. That's all the things that I have to plug, and I am very excited to continue this game and to have these people find answers that they don't want.
And I guess that leads on to me. We didn't do a proper wind up at the beginning because technical issues, but we can do one now. So guys, if you're not already, please check out our social links, which are spelt like that. Discord, you'll find an inclusive, fun place where you can talk about TTRPGs and other things. Twitter, if you want to get into a game, send me a DM. There's currently a long wait on my responses, though, because I've sort of kind of filled this season, and I need to figure out exactly when there's going to be spaces next season, so bear with. Don't think because I'm not responding that I'm ignoring you. I'm not. I'm just holding on until I actually have something to give you. And YouTube, it's fully up to date. Everything's in playlists. It's all pretty. Go and check it out. You can catch up on this season and all the others. We also have a Patreon where you guys can go and check out some... bit premature there, Potato Hollow. Bit premature. Patreon where you can go and check out our some exclusive stuff like artwork and sound bits. There's also free articles on there. The next one being released in a couple of days' time, so check out that. Very premature, but Potato Hollow. What? Stop it. Yeah, but those are my sponsors. Bird in the Storm Publishing is there. Check out their merch, and also Mage Hand Press there as well. Mage Hand Press, you can check them out on Thursdays at the moment at 1 p.m. EST, where we play in the 5e setting. Their
Dark
5e
matter.
reskin dark matter. Thank you. Set
Argon
in space. Yeah.
something.
Yeah. See, this is what happens, chat. You do things too quick. I get confused. I've got a system, okay? Let me do my system. Merch is the thing that I skipped. We also have merch. Head over to Redbubble, check out our merch. It's wonderful. I'm not wearing it now because I'm in costume, but we have books. We also have loads of the wonderful merch that we're wearing this weekend at MCM. We do not have a competition because I've not set one up yet, but we will be going on a raid. Now, Potato Hollow, now is the time to hit them raid things that I know you already have copied and pasted for us. And we'll head over. Today, we are going to be raiding... I think we'll go and raid Rachel. We'll be on her show tomorrow, which will be cool. No, wait, she'll be on our show tomorrow.
There you go.
Thank you. Words are difficult, okay?
I'll be on her show on Thursday.
So there you go as well. You can also catch the wonderful Anna over there too. So
It looks like our raid call out is I don't talk to dead people.
there it is. Beautiful.
If anyone wants any like Q&A after this, I will be on Twitter, so you can tweet your questions or observations and such to me. This does include the players.
Fantastic. Now, guys, we are live. We are live full time now. Mondays to Thursdays, 1 p.m., 6 p.m., and 10 p.m. EST. Fridays, 1 p.m. over on the Greyhawk channel, and 8 p.m. every other week on this channel. This week is our week. It's been wonderful. Tune in next time. Keep evoking emotions, and we'll see you later on. Bye!